General Andrews,
And the Dream Stream presents Rapid Runs!
Saucy.
welcome on back, dreamers and new folk. This is a special edition of Rapid Runs, a Dream Race recap. The Dream Races are intended to showcase individuals' talents, ranging from our musical opening act to racing, speedrunning, and even challenge runs of their respective games on display. The second event of Jumpstart January's Dream Races was Mega Man 4 Buster Only Percent for the NES by RGC. Commentary for this run was done by LookinToad. Let's see how it turned out.
Check out this cool opening too, you guys. Like, I am just enchanted by this opening. I have been since I was a kid. It's just so cool and noble and righteous. And waking up at the table and he's on that train and the music's so hype. On my end it says pause because it's minimized. Okay, there it goes. Okay, I'm good. Alright, it's looking good. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. And there's not really too much difference between Mega Man 4 and Rockman 4. There's about a half-second time save, I think, and... Oh! I saw title screen, so... Man, it's so cool to see the animated modes. Like, it's a pretty neat thing. It's been fun to see a bunch of different stuff. The hype. You gotta love that. You gotta have that guy in sitting way back like GDQ, that distant hype. Mega Man is such a stud. I also think Justice is pretty rad, and a cool quality in a human. Or robot, I suppose. See a bunch of familiar faces in chat, too. Good to see you. Oh my gosh, yeah, look at these animated emotes, though. Around like that. It's pretty cool. So, let's see here. We're still, I guess we're setting up, trying to get stuff going.
I'm 100% ready, so you guys take it whenever.
Yeah, we're just, whenever RGC lets me know to do a countdown, I'm gonna do a countdown. But yeah, for those of you that don't play a lot of Mega Man, or can't really, you know, off the top of your head be able to say what's different about the 6 on the Nintendo. This one, the 4th one, it was the first one to have the charge shot, which kind of changed things up a little bit. They went on to kind of make it better and power it up in 5 and 6 in terms of its like larger hitbox. 5 has a shorter charge time. So it's got that. The slide is also a bit longer than Mega Man 3's slide. You also can't jump out of it unless you let go of the down button. In Mega Man 3's, you can.
I think you can take over now, LookinToad, and tell him the countdown.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do the countdown, okay, RGC? I see you at the title. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, here we are. Okay, so in any percent, there's a pretty specific route because you got to collect a bunch of items and do a bunch of stuff. In Buster Only, a lot of the routing is decided based on resetting, essentially. Because unfortunately, Dustman has some of the craziest RNG. In any percent, it's absolutely awful. But in Buster only, you can't kill him as quickly, so the likelihood of him doing the goofy thing he's going to do is much higher. This is the infamous cinematic slowdown room that we're looking at here. As you can see, the NES decides to kind of put on a show for us. When there's a ton of sprites on screen, that's kind of what does that. So these blocks are coming in, these ladybugs are going around. Charging can also cause a bit of lag, sometimes sliding. So pretty rough room. Making it through, though. Maybe going to go for some HP here. No such luck. The game can be a little mean. Maybe Eddie will help out. No, some weapon energy, which is extra mean in Buster only. Gonna use the Buster to get through here, and any percent you would be using Ring that you get through Ringman. Thankfully, we got checkpoint. Unfortunately, we took a ton of damage in the lag room, just because that's how it is, unfortunately. 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐎𝐓 handled it very well, but sometimes that room can just give you a really hard time. But as far as having to start again, that was a decent place to have it happen. Making it through here, oh, nice. Made it out of those blocks. It's scary pretty much every time. So, very nicely done. Mashing through these guys. All in all, a pretty scary stage. Some stages, there's not too many ways to just immediately die, but there's a ton of ways to lose time, like through errors. Ooh, beautiful chain sliding. Made it right under that short hop. You have to have really good sliding to make that work, so very nice. But yeah, Dust is a stage where you can just die. So let's see what happens here. So Dust only does 3 things ever at all. He jumps, he shoots junk at you like that, or he sucks. Unfortunately, the only way to stop him from sucking is to bonk him with your body. And in this game, contact damage is huge. You take 8 damage from Dust. Good fight here, though. Takes out Dust just fine. Going to be going for the center pixel, I believe. Let's see here. Yep, and got it. So there's a magic pixel in the very center of the floor, and if you're on it, Mega Man won't jump. Just zip right to the center of the screen. So got that. Very nice. And as Nublar's pointing out, one suck is fantastic for a Buster-only fight. One suck is good for like having his weakness fight. So one suck on a Buster fight is strong. Start in terms of like getting that good old luck. So hopefully we'll just keep the good times rolling here. So Drill is another boss that has crazy RNG to it. Here in any percent you'd see the Flash Stopper, which is a very powerful item. So you have to kind of carve your own way with Buster, reacting to things that are normally frozen in the any percent route. But thankfully, it's fairly friendly. I'm going to be looking here to see what happens in this room right before checkpoint. This is a pretty fussy room, but wonderfully done. Just takes that D-boost. In this game, if you're sliding and you take damage, like if you're sliding into what's hurting you, you don't have any knockback. So that's fortunate. Kind of just slid right into that shot and used the iframes to go across the spikes there, so pretty cool. This is just a mean room if you have to deal with these rocks, but RGC's handling it just fine. Flash Stopper is good for this, or Skull, to take care of these, but RGC just weaving through, making it no problem. Very nicely done. And moving into Drill Man. So Drill will just dive whenever he feels like it. There's unfortunately nothing you can really do about it. It seems that if you stand closer to him, he's more likely to start walking or jumping, as opposed to diving. So we got walking, which is good. And yes, more walking. Typically you pull him out close to the wall, because when he starts walking, he'll walk all the way to the other side of the screen. And right now he's being so nice. Oh my goodness. What is happening? Oh my god! That's like the ideal Buster fight, to be honest. I don't think you could have a better one unless you like blew him up right in the center. for Buster. Because he did not dive, like, at all. That's, like, clip-worthy. And then he blew up in the center. So the victory tune won't start playing until all the boss particles are off screen. So the closer to the center that you can blow them up, the better. So that was just nuts. He ended up just walking the entire way, and then just, yeah, fantastic. You kill for that RNG? Exactly, our Speechy knows. Shoutouts to Mega Man fam. So now we're going into Brightman. Brightman stage can be a little tricky to learn. It's one of those stages that's like a little hard to learn, but then when you know it, it's not too bad. But still a pretty tough stage. There's a bunch of ways to die, and some things that, and RNG, unfortunately, too. That's one of the more unfortunate part about these crickets here. Ooh, went for the little back deboost there. Assuming gonna, yep, mash down this dude. So yeah, this stage can be tricky, but all in all, it's not too bad. It's pretty fun. There's a bunch of RNG with those crickets. They can either jump big or jump small. You typically want them to always jump big. There's only one cricket I can think of that you wanna purposes. And it would be, because you can make it in one jump off a small jump, but then if he keeps going into this screen, you get more cinematic slowdown from the game. So while it's a treat during normal gameplay to have the cinematic slowdown, we want to go fast, so we're trying to get rid of that. And one of the best ways is to take out enemies. That's usually one of the best things you can do is conserve your shots and just get things off screen as fast as you can. Little platforms are interesting. If you've played this game, you know this is a very hectic, kind of scary room when you're first encountering it. But those little platforms, they'll catch you as you're holding right on them like that. They'll just kind of carry you, and you can ease into them. So that room in particular is one where it's scary at first, but once you know how to work through it, you can get through it. So very nice stage. Moving into Brightman. So Brightman, he will freeze you, and it's very frustrating. There's a trick you can do, where you can prevent him from freezing you, and it's fairly easy to do even outside of a speedrunning context. You basically hit him 3 times with the charge shot, and then 1 lemon, and then all the rest charges. Very nice fight, by the way. Excellently done. No freezes. You do 3 charges, 1 lemon, all charges, and it prevents him from getting to 16, 8, and 4 health values, which is where he will freeze you. So RGC pulling it off wonderfully. And also, though, I think that was the first time that they've done it. We were talking, and they did it just fine. It was great. So, hype. Very good, very good. So now we're moving into Pharaoh. This is one of the busiest screens in the game, in any percent. Because as I mentioned before, you have that flash stopper to freeze the screen and take care of a lot of junk. But in any percent, if you're doing Pharaoh first, as I do, you have to basically do this Buster only, because you don't have any weapons yet. Woo! Scary, scary! Okay, nice. Made the jump because we're cruising on over to Balloon. Very iconic item for the Mega Man 4 speedrun. It's unique to this game, and it's used for all kinds of goofy and crazy things. We're going to see some of it later to go fast, because you have to have it and have to use it. So, and that's one thing about this category in all the Mega Man Buster-only games. Basically, if there's an exception to be made for, you know, getting through the game, then obviously you have to take it. But other than that, it's going to be True Blue. So these little platforms, they're kind of interesting, like the platforms in Bright, where they'll catch you if you kind of tap the boundary. But making it through, gonna have some Skeleton Joes coming up here. These guys are kind of fun. Got 6 health, very nice. Yep. Ooh! Pulled back just a pinch. And take out this guy and the final one. Very nicely done. And we're through to Pharaoh Man himself. So it's interesting. All the bosses do 8 damage when they touch you, except for Pharaoh, who does 6. And I'm assuming they made him like that because he just jumps around so crazy and throws shots at you like that. However, something interesting about Pharaoh is that if you're standing right next to him, he's more likely to shoot that giant charge shot that he shoots. So it's kind of ironic, really, that they were like, okay, well, we'll make him do less damage because he's going to bounce around, I assume, anyway. And then he's programmed to where if you're just standing right next to him, he's likely to do the most avoidable thing. So very nicely done. Making it through just fine. Why is the Stage Buster only in any %? Some weird reason, or just where the first weapon? Yeah, basically just where the first weapon is. Pharaoh first is done so you can get Pharaoh's weapon and the balloon, which you use for time saves in Bright to get Flash Stopper, and then you just move in weakness order after that. You go to Ring, and then weakness order. So, and Pharaoh's only like, Pharaoh first in any % versus Bright first is only like 6 seconds faster, so. But now we're in Dive, which I think RGC and I both agree is can be a frustrating stage. So something about this game is that you can jump out of your slides as long as you're not holding down on the D-pad. However, you cannot jump out of slides at all underwater, so you get to kind of pretend you're playing Mega Man 6 for a second. But making it through just fine, but there's lots of spikes, lots of ways to fall, so it can be goofy. But so far so good, just cruising on through. Boop. Taking out the cute little snorkel mets. There's all kinds of fun mets in this game. Foreshadowing. By the way, it's really cool. This is the only... Well, I don't want to say the only game in the Classic 6 where Dr. Wily was not the main bad guy of the game. They decided to kind of break the mold, which I think is very good. I think it, would be kind of a goofy precedent to set where, if it was Wily literally every single time. So, anyway, making it to checkpoint, cruising on through. We got our second whale here. Doing absolutely great. It's it's impressive to me, especially these stages where I'm typically using the Flash Stopper, because it really does make things so much easier to just free stuff and cruise through. So, mad respect for getting through these Flash Stopper stages without it. So we're going into Dive. Dive's a lot like bullfighting, I suppose. Like, he'll dash at you 3 times, and then he stops to do a missile. If you're standing right, only shoot out 1 missile. Or if you're far... Now that I'm thinking about it for this Buster fight, is probably fairly smart. Instinct to want to get super high and get away from those missiles is it's scary. Like, you're pretty much getting chased around. So with the Skull Shield, he gets to have a chance to spawn as many missiles. But going in with full health, so we should be able to get to him here. Drill dives and dive drills, precisely. They got it all wrong. Anyway, Dive Man just looks like Hard Man from Mega Man 3 with a periscope on his head. Just maybe Dr. Wily, like, towards the end of the process, was just like, you know what, we're just gonna plop that on there. And by the way, beautiful fight here from RGC. Just totally knocking him out. That's how it is sometimes. Sometimes you go in and you have you have a fight, and it's rough, and you're like, man, okay, I'll get through this, though. I'm gonna go in full health, and it'll be just fine. And you go in, and you take barely any damage, and you do it just fine. And you're like, okay, great, thanks, hands. Yeah, but yeah, still cruising through just fine. Oh, and I see in the splits there's a gold split. Juicy. Celebrate all success. Golds are a joy. Going into Ringman here. This is where you'd first Bright first, any %. But I imagine this vertical is going to be a bit tougher without Balloon. In any % you use it to just get through here, but you got these ding-dongs shooting at you, and Got these dingus Saturns flying at you. So far so good. Thankfully, getting shot in this game is not that bad compared to touching something. Touching something in this game just absolutely drains your health, but getting shot is just just usually a lot more affordable. Hippo, more like Skippo. Got him, because we just passed him on by. If you've played this before, you know that Hippo's super annoying. It shoots missiles at you. You gotta knock the tower down to be able to shoot it. It's a whole mess. But thankfully, we can just pass it on by. These guys can be a little frustrating to get the timing, but once you have it, not too bad. Passing on into another Skippo here. Love to see the hype in the chat. That's what it's all about. And RGC putting on a really good run here. It's one of those, I feel like Buster Only, and in this game in particular, is one of those cases where when you see someone who's like really good at doing it, I feel like it looks easier than it actually is. A lot of us are runners, and can tell you, that as you get good, that's kind of a sign of it. So I don't know. Very good run so far. Buster run for Mega Man 4 is scary, yeah. So I mean, and RGC's just nailing all the stuff. So very good. Coming into Ringman. Ringman is one of those fights that I think a lot of people I hear casually talk about how he's super scary and super hard. But he's one of those bosses that if you actually just spend time trying to not get hit in the fight, and then once you learn that, you add in shots, you'll find that he's very repetitive. And RGC just handled it just perfectly. Just blasted it on up, and we're out. Check out the cool sprites too, the kind of rotating thing. Pretty sweet. Oh no, I'm out of water. Alright, our 7th Robot Master, Skullman. This is Balloon Stage in any percent. But we're gonna just get out our Buster and take out these turrets. These little flying guys. Very fun stage. This is one of those stages I was mentioning where there's not too many ways to just instantly die. There's definitely some, especially the last screen, I would say. But there's lots of ways to go slow if you goof. Like, they just add up over time. Ooh, very nice. Some very good movement here from RGC. Going on up. That's one of the most deceptive time wasters in Mega Man games, is ladder climbing. It wastes more time than it feels like it spending a lot of time climbing a ladder. Which is why we use the balloons. Good D-boost to get through quickly. In speedrunning, health is basically just second ammo if you have D-boosting, like so. Some good hits. Very clean stage so far. Putting down the Skeleton Joes. When they are hit with a normal shot, they fall apart, but they can't hurt you. Very nice. Wonderful stage. This is where in GDQ everyone would be clapping, and the guy in the back would go, hype! So we're getting into Skullman. Skullman's funny. He's actually programmed to purely react to your inputs. That was a goofy sentence trying to come out of my mouth there, but he reacts basically to inputs in different ways. So like if you shoot or jump or walk, and if you go in and you don't press anything, he'll just stand there and stare at you. It's pretty funny. Next time you play, just go in and just let go of the controller. Go make a sandwich. They'll have a stare off. Good finish there. Let Skullman run up to him so he could take him out closer to the center. Very good. Clean stage, clean boss fight. It's what you love to see it. Very good. Getting some good hype from chat here. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Good. Tobin. This stage in 8% is the only zip you can do, unless you're Vet and do Crusher Zip. Exactly. Shoutouts to Vet. Haven't seen him in a while. Hope he's good. Would love to see some of that Mega Man. And here we are in Toadman stage. This is heavily from the Flash Stopper. This screen in particular is a mess. You get lots of juicy cinematic slowdown because there's so many things happening. But look at this. Just weaving in and out, no problem. Made it on through just fine. And it's funny, most people will do this stage first, but the stage is so hard. It's a very hard stage. And forget, Mega Man 4, does Mega Man need any Robot Master item to get through the Wily stages? Yes, you have to use either Rush or the balloon, which we'll see. But you try to keep it to a minimum. Gonna have to fight the snail here. In the any % run, use Flash Stopper to skip him, similar to the Hippo. RGC with the jump mash here, reminiscent of those cats in Mega Man 3. Very nice. So yeah, we're pretty soon though we'll be heading into Toadman, which is probably the hardest boss in Mega Man history. So I mean, we gotta kind of cross our fingers here and see what happens. I mean, RGC is a wonderful player, don't get me wrong, but Toadman, I think, scares everyone. Whether you... Anytime you turn on the game, I think you get a chill up your spine as soon as you remember you have to fight Toadman. So... pretty... Look out for someone busting into my room. I have no idea what I would do if my door suddenly flung open and Mega Man was there. I'd be like, well, this is it, I guess. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh my god. Oh. Insane. Can you believe this? Wow. Have you ever seen such a display of wit and might triumphing over adversity and difficulty in a video game? Just insane. Hardest boss in the history of Mega Man. As I'm sure everybody knows, I'm kidding. he's infamously easy, just absolutely, just a goof. So as you can see, RGC just completely took him out, no problem. He's actually the one people go after first because he's so easy. He's programmed to jump when you shoot, so you kind of can stun him in this lock where he can just jump to the left and the right of you, or if you use your charge shots, you can, and you get a good rhythm going, you can shoot him in the middle of his dance before it activates, and then he'll just put his hands down and stare at you like, oh man, come on. And he's like, oh man, you just repeat that forever. Alright, so Cossack 1. There are 4 Cossack stages. Getting that cool little hidden E-tank there. Secrets like that back in the day that kept us going. Like, in terms of like, whoa, you know, that's the charm. Anyway, got 4 Cossack stages here till we get to the last boss, final boss. Definitely groundbreaking, mold breaking, not Wily, final boss, Dr. Cossack. Shoutouts to those Slinkies in the previous screen, by the way. They are one of the worst enemies in the game. They have a ton of health and they do a ton. Really simple, but they are just the worst. But so far, no problems. Pretty scary screen here. You got the guys coming out of the pits, the ice physics. And pretty much exactly as you should. If you're jumping or sliding, you don't really notice the ice effects too much. Cool little despawn there. Skeleton Joe came on the screen. We just kind of inch to the left a little bit and come back and he's gone. So this is where we're going to have to use Balloon, because it's wink, wink. Don't tell. Unfortunately, because of his curse, shoutouts to 𝐂𝐐𝐍𝐑, but because of his curse, anytime anyone uses anything other than Buster in a Buster-only run, he feels pain. So, you know, thoughts with him during these balloon usages. Okay, so making it through. This screen is unfortunate to have to do without the cool any % items, either Rush Jet or the balloon. But again, just another example of the stage of handling it. Handling it so good, it looks easy. Like you could just pick it up and do it. It's so smooth. And here's the moth. Its name is Mothriah, officially. It's got a tiny little place where you can hit it right there. And unfortunately, Mega Man 4's Buster, as cool as it is just kind of like that thin strip. Whereas in 5, it's all big and how you'd see it pretty much later. But in this one, we get the green, blue swirly thing. But very good. Very even, well-paced fight. So now we're going into Cossack 2. Mechanical Mothra. Where are the fairy twins? Oh, man. That'd be an interesting hybrid game. Can you imagine a Mega Man X game where all the Mavericks are just Maverick versions of Kaiju? So here we go. Cossack 2. This is like the final balloon stage in the any % route. And it's going to be the final... Well, no. We're going to see a little bit more Rush in Wily. Oh, not Wily 2. I mean, in the fan game where they changed it to where Wily's the boss. Just jumping on over these guys, cruising on through. And we go back to Buster. Oop. Little bonkage, but getting through, it's just fine. A-okay. Oh! Bit of a spill, but not too bad. Still have some decent health. Good recovery. Back on path. Here is a good example of how sometimes the speedrun strats can make things easier. There's a lot of speed strats in this game, particularly with Flash Stopper, that I feel like even with a little practice, even if you don't speedrun, you'd still... just a little bit. So this screen's a little spooky. Those guys have a bunch of health, and when the worst, when they're next to you, they'll just keep trying to roll around, and you get a brief moment to try to stop them. Dropping a bunch of that lore in chat. I don't even know. I'm a poser. I don't know anything about Godzilla like I should. I just know people say kaiju, and that's it. I'm a fake fan, exposed. All right, so 2 to encounter another huge RNG boss, and again in Buster only because you don't have the weakness weapon stuff that they do to cause more slowdown. So this boss square machine has 3 different patterns. It's got a 3, a 2, and a 1. What we just saw was a 2. Using the E-Tank to get the life back pretty low, and things can go south here quick. Also, 4, I don't know who at the table brought the idea up, and I don't know with it, but there are no boss checkpoints in 4. So if you lose to one of the bosses, you have to go all the way back to stage checkpoint, which is just rough. So anyway, about the patterns, a 3 is when he comes by fast, and then medium, and then slow. So here's a 3, for instance, fast, then the medium, and then the form. A 2 is when it goes by medium and then forms, and a 1 is when it just forms right away. 1. There's a 1 in 10 chance of it being a 1, so the odds of getting a 1/1 is about 1 in 100 in a run. So pretty rare. Doesn't happen too often, and it does save good time. Whoa, very nice. Cool. Going into Cossack. Doing good, RGC. Just surfing the waves of Mega Man 4. Oh yeah, you're killing it, RGC. No worries. So this is typically in an event, the donation stage. Oh, the classic! Oh, you love to see it. I mean, you don't love to see it, but you kind of it's like a badge of honor to die to that little swirly platform guy. I don't know I don't know how to describe it. And also to die in Cossack 3 in an event is a badge of honor for this game. It happened, I believe, to Duckfist and to 𝐂𝐐𝐔𝐈𝐏𝐿, so it's in their respective events that they when they played this. So and it happens. It's just a thing. So a rite of passage to die to the little ball. Yes, precisely. It's a classic. It's very good. But yeah, so this is the donation stage because you can't really make it go faster. It's the auto scroller. My usual go-to joke is my grandma donating and asking, "Why are you like this?" And then I just go, "Thanks, Gram," and then just continue. But I didn't. I decided to explain the joke instead, which is much better than telling a joke, I find. Ooh, nice. Very nicely done. So those saws, as you can see, normally in any percent you take them out with a ring. RGC with the quick footwork, just back deboosting, crossing the platforms, and getting up to checkpoint. Alrighty, little platforms. That's the only way you can make this stage go faster, is to try to reduce the amount of cinematic slowdown by getting rid of sprites, taking have to, that kind of thing. It really doesn't save. It's such a marginal amount of time that there's really no consequence for not going for it, but you can. But usually it's fun to like shoot to the music or something silly. But here we go, coming up on the boss door. Taking our little elevator down. Like how the E-tanks glow, too, when you charge. It's fun. Alright, entering Cockroach Twins. So usually you're using Pharaoh against these guys, and it's nice because you can angle it all around, because as you're gonna see, they like to... This one's shy. He just likes to stay on the ceiling. But his brother has a little bit more fight in him. He likes to crawl all around. There he goes, stomping away. He can shoot either the 4 little shots or the 1 big shot. And the 1 big shot's actually a fail, because there's less lag. Very nice. Taking him out. Bling. But diddle-do. Hey, what's up, Ferret? Yeah, and to this event and to everyone. This is really fun. Thanks for having me here. Another example
You're all
of
amazing.
what makes this
Thank you.
community great. Yes. For sure, for sure. Whoop. Going down here. This stage is kind of a nice little breather too, and it's it's the final stage, so we're gonna be able to just sit back and chill here in a minute. So, the pit guys and the space, it looks amazing, by the way. It's really cool screen with the moon up there. Very neat. When I got really into speedrunning this game, it was long since I'd seen that screen, because you never see that screen in any percent, that I saw somebody playing online, and I thought they were playing a hack. I was like, what? This isn't Mega Man 4. And then they continued and was like, oh, this is Mega Man 4.
Oh, this is pretty clutch.
You got it.
Please out. Ah, no.
Alright, so RGC, we're entering the final boss. Cossack. It's been fun commentating. So here's actually the difference, one of the big differences between Rockman 4 and Mega Man 4. Such a clutch slide out of Cossack. Already low health here, but very sharp, very good gameplay. Oh, baby, come on. Woo! Missing that. Come on, bring it home. Oh, nicely done. Excellent. Good job. There. Yes, very good. Very good. Very well played. Wait, what? Oh my, it's Wily? Wow. Best kept secret since 1991. Amazing. Are into the final part of the game, the Wily stages. We've had some close calls, we've seen some cool action, but here's where we wipe the sweat off our brow and march into the heart of this situation. So Wily 1's a pretty cool stage. It has the Mets. And not the baseball team, our cool little friends with helmets.
So many Mets.
So many. As a matter of fact, there are only Mets in this stage, which is pretty cool. Including the host at the end.
Mets are my favorites. Whoops.
So taking care of these guys, these little dancing Mets have 3 health, so you gotta charge shot them, and they spin around all cute like that. A lot of people say this. Yeah, see, I see it right there. Nublar, Wily's toilet stage. Everybody says that this is the bathroom, the Wily's bathroom. And I guess I can see it. It's like kind of watery. There's lots of pipes, but it's also pretty sanitary looking, you know? So it's like clean, but, you know, also plumbing. So here are what we call the Yoku blocks. However, fun fact, little known fact, actually, their real name is 𝐂𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓 blocks, like K-O-Z-U, 𝐂𝐍𝐍, and they're called 𝐂𝐍𝐍 blocks because you always falling off of them. Haha, I got them. That's a good one. You guys can have that. You can use it. Alright, yeah. it's a goof, right? Thanks, Dad. Yeah, I got a book coming out. Hang around. I got jokes for you, kid. Alright, so speaking of daddies, Ed Daddy, that's his actual name, Metal Daddy. And he's not playing. He's here to spank our hams and send us to bed. He does a ton of damage when he hits you. There's a bit of RNG. He can either open quickly or kind of wait before he decides to open up. Or he can, Oops. Hold on, sorry. I'm like watching. Okay. He can either open quickly or open slowly. And then he can either jump right away or he can wait and then jump. So ideally you want him to open quickly and delay his jump so you can get more hits in. But good fight. It's a rim shot, but yep. But Daddy trying to stomp us? He do. And he will. And he will do it again. In any percent, this is the Doggo Stage, Wily 2. Menuing takes a ton of time. Thankfully, in Buster Only, you really don't have to do it. So, except for a few places. But menuing, it's like a 1.5 seconds going in and a 1.5 seconds going out, not counting the time you spend in the menu. So, you know, as your run tightens up, you want to just avoid that as much as possible. So, for instance, right there, we would have switched to Rush Jet in any percent, and we would have just stayed on Rush Jet, because there's another part in the stage where you have to use him, and you can still fire Buster with him, so. But in Buster only, we gotta, we gotta keep it as blue as we can. Getting on through. So here's the other place that we gotta use an item to get through.
I didn't lose my charge. That's cool.
Yeah, that's actually
You
a
can do
strat. In Cossack 4 for the second Slinky.
Oops.
Getting that juicy screen transition. That's another thing that's unfortunate when it happens, but yeah, so you can store a Buster shot by pausing the game when you have a full charge shot. There's a strat in Cossack 4 where you store one so that way you hit an enemy with a drill, pause, switch to Buster, unpause, and you let go of the button, and as the unpause happens, it just fires all on its own, which is pretty cool. So this is Taco Trash. He's called that because taco means octopus in Japanese. So he's like octopus trash. And I assume that he's trash because he's like a big old junk guy. Maybe he's Dustman's older bro, come to take revenge. Pretty scary. Got that E-tank. Very good. Oops. Fun trick in any percent. If you pop him with a drill, it destroys his hitbox. I'm pretty sure the game treats it like his like it's one of those walls that drill destroys. So you can knock it out and just stand inside him and take him out. It's a pretty nice little cheese. Pretty tough fight to do, Buster only, but very nicely done.
Salvage it.
Was it Rain that removes his damage box?
To be kind with me.
Yep, you can do it. I believe.
And yes.
Rain, the Rain does not remove the damage box, Tmurdock.
Or the acid. Whoops.
It skips his health fill. So you use it as you jump into the room, and it causes damage to him. And so instead of that really long health fill animation, it just jumps full. And then you hit him with a drill to disable the hitbox. And then you can walk inside him and take him out with Rain. Boom.
Okay, drill first.
Here we go. So really, there's no special order. Again, just because, you got Buster. But Drill is just one of those jokers that can knock out any good paced run. Refights is a pretty scary place to be if you're on pace and you're... especially if in your PB you had really good luck, because it can be a big barrier.
Oh,
in the PB I have before the current one I have,
that's
my
terrible so far.
Refights was a gold, so it's really hard to run against. Yeah, Drill's not being as nice as he was earlier. We're starting to get some good RNG. Here we go. Got him. Going into Bright. He was saving all the dives? Yes, true enough. Alright. So fighting Bright. Doing the same old thing we can do to prevent him from freezing us. And it's working. Funny enough, the two safest places to be with Brightman or very far away from him. But if you're anywhere in the middle, you're in danger. So now we got Skullman. Up to his usual shenanigans. In any percent, it's not as much of a big deal if he has a long shield. It certainly is, and it's frustrating because that's kind of his RNG when he brings up the shield. He can either drop it right away or make it go for possibly up to 4 seconds, I think, kind of like a dust or dive. But in Buster only, because it takes a bit longer to take out the bosses, there's just a higher like that to happen, like a long shield. So I would say RNG is a little bit more hard-hitting in Buster only, simply for the fact that the bosses live a little bit longer enough that they can cause you some trouble to your run. Very nice dive
Okay,
fight.
that was good.
Yeah. Just cleaning up, no problem.
Wait.
Toadman here. Giving us his final
Stop.
boogie. My headcanon with Toadman is that 7 guys, but didn't have an 8th one.
Oops,
And
missed a
so
slide.
Toadman, a dance robot, decided to fill in. And that's why he's the way he is. So here we got Dustman.
Oh, orangey crap.
Bouncing around. Shooting his junk. Getting a suck. So there's one.
It was intentional.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no, no, I can't get it anymore.
Yeah. That jerk.
Okay.
All right, here's
That
a
RNG
really
there.
funny. Here's a really funny joke about Dust. I'll keep it brief. It's okay if you don't get it. But if you do tell this one, you have to credit me. Dust sucks. Do you get it? Because he's awful and we hate him, and also he's a vacuum person. So it's pretty good. But just make sure to let people know I made it up. No one's ever made that joke before me. Okay, just doing our dance with Ring, or Buster dance. Very nice.
Messed up a little bit there.
All right.
Jumps.
Getting Pharaoh to...
Stop jumping.
Yeah, he's pulling a Toadman. Now he's doing our charge shots here. With that proximity control.
Oh no.
Woo, clean fight. Very
Stop,
nice.
please.
Looking good. Alright, nice. Picking up that health. And going into machine.
I don't have any tanks. This is scary.
Yeah, without a backup, it's gonna be a little tense, but we've had some pretty clutch moments so far, so not unreasonable to think that we're gonna pull through just fine. This fight in particular is a little bit more testy than the any percent fight for sure, and for the second phase. The Buster Shot's already pretty small, and the area where you can
form is a
damage
joke.
Wily is also pretty small. So, timing it so you can make, like make contact and get the damage can be difficult without practice. His
No,
weakness
this one is
normally is
horrible.
drill. But I can imagine playing casually, trying to go in here and being frustrated that you can't even hit him. So far, really good though. Really good fight.
Yeah, super high.
And boom,
okay.
there it is. Brilliant. Get our GDQ claps in there, our hype. Woo!
Final stage.
Whoa, we have a mysterious
For no
donation
reset
here.
run, this isn't bad.
Yeah, no, you're doing good, RGC. You're killing it. People out there, you can hear RGC too, right? I'm just checking. You're killing it. You're just sailing through.
Too
No
bad
problem.
my Dustman at the beginning was so bad. Everything else wasn't.
No, you played well. You made it through. Part of playing well too is having clutch moments, and you handle it, and you've done a lot of that. So, I mean, in terms of like responding and playing well, so you've made it. Here you are. Wrap it up with our twist surprise
Okay,
ending
here I
Wily.
need to.
Yep, we're doing thing that'll hurt Wily
Take
other
Pharaoh.
than the ring. The ring does
Oops,
1
missed the
damage,
double shot.
but it's a pretty unfortunate backup. Thankfully in Buster Only you get to go in with a ton of ammo.
Oh,
About to close it out. That's the run. GG. Fantastic.
Okay, that final fight wasn't that bad.
You did great. This is where I come up with the mic and I'm like, RGC, how do you feel? What do you think?
Thank you.
Tell me your thoughts. How do you feel about that run?
I did well.
Agreed.
The only really heartbreaking moment was Cossack 3 when I died at the first section.
Oh, like I said, it's a badge of honor. I've done it. It's fine. It adds spice. It adds flavor. I can understand it being frustrating, though, for sure. I don't mean to say it isn't, but
And the lag room in
stubbing your
Dustman,
toe.
I handled it badly. Handled it. Excuse me.
Get our Mega
Sweet
Man going
song.
home. Yeah, big GG, big hype. Let's get
Thank you so
our
much, everyone.
round of applause.
Trying to
RGC
name
worked.
everyone.
RGC worked pretty hard on this. Talked a little bit coming up to the event, working on stuff. So, and I think it definitely shows. They play very well and put on a great run for us. So thank you.
I'm
very
actually not that far away from my PB from yesterday.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that being close to PB in an event is like fantastic. So
40-something
yes.
seconds.
Very nice. Oh, here's some fun trivia about Dustman, by the way. He's going to be coming
Thank you,
up.
𝐂𝐐𝐍𝐓. Thank you, Tmurdock.
Dustman was designed
Wario,
by
𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐎𝐍, 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐎𝐍.
Yeah, there's lots of.
Excuse me, I'm interrupting you.
No, it's okay. You just finished your run. It's your jam. I'm just talking about trivia. You're good. You're good.
I'll let you talk trivia afterward. Topos Dragon, Harris PC, Squirrel Turds, 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐎𝐍, Wiz Wario, Enublar. I think I named everyone. FlibbityFlam, 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐎𝐍, 16-bit Ferret. Imagine Nico. I hope I pronounce all your names correctly. I'm French Canadian. Okay, you can talk now.
Cool. Yeah, no, congrats, RGC. You did great. I don't know, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me here to do commentary. I know I do tend to talk a lot. I have been well adjusted to people having to go Toad, hey, slow down. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, yeah, thank you for having
it that way. It was perfect.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. You played well. It was fun to be here. Fun to make some goofs. Good to be with chat. The generals community is always a pleasure. So I am grateful. Thank you. Oh, so the trivia real quick. Dustman, he was designed by a kid for the robot design contest, but that kid would go on to grow up and become the guy that made One Punch. You guys know those anime.
One Punch Man. Yeah.
So even as a kid, he was pumping out the bangers just with the hit designs. Dreamers with all the hype, exactly. I gotta say, very briefly, for me personally, General Andrews is one of the first streamers I started watching at all ever when I first found Twitch, and consistently puts on all kinds of cool events, and has lots of just positive hype energy for like not just for games but like health, both mental health and physical health. So shout outs to the General for and General's community for just being all around rad and encouraging and powerful. So
wow, that was an awesome segue. Look at you guys. Remarkable! LookinToad provide amazing commentary while RGC showed he didn't need any special weapons nor exploited weaknesses to beat Dr. Wily and his evil plan. Found this exciting? Our next live event for the Dream Races will be Mad Rush March on Tuesday, March 22nd at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard, 11 p.m. Eastern. Want to watch live? You can stream with us right now at twitch.tv/GeneroAndrews. Remember to like, comment, watch the whole damn video, and subscribe.